My ambitious and responsible Capricorn friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Capricorn this week arrives with a subtle, familiar weight in the chest. It's not just busyness or the usual sense of responsibility. There's a quieter tension, almost like you're holding your breath, waiting for the world to catch up with the pace you've set for yourself. But beneath the surface, something aches for a pause. Maybe you've been managing so many moving pieces that your own needs have slipped to the background, or perhaps you sense that this stretch of days isn't about striving harder, but about searching for a different kind of balance. You might find yourself drawn to the calm in small moments, the hush of early morning, the steadiness of your own routine, the brief exhale when no one is asking anything of you. Yet, even in those pauses, there's a gentle unease, an unspoken recognition that you want more ease, more integration, but aren't sure how to claim it. This is a week of noticing what goes unspoken, what simmers under your capable exterior. There's an invitation here to meet that tension, not with force, but with the kind of patience that feels both unfamiliar and necessary. Within you, the spirit of temperance colors every gesture, every choice. You are not standing at the extremes, nor are you completely at rest. Instead, you're weaving together all the demands and desires that pull at you. There's a quiet intelligence guiding your days, an instinct to moderate, to blend, to find a middle ground even when the world seems to reward only those who choose one side or the other. This week, you may notice yourself instinctively bridging gaps, between people, between obligations, between your own ambitions and your need for stillness. It's not about denying any one part of yourself. Rather, it's about holding space for each dimension to breathe. You might feel the urge to temper your reactions, to let things unfold without insisting on immediate answers. There is a deep inner steadiness available to you, even when you are surrounded by noise or external pressure. Underneath, however, lies an unspoken longing, the hope that all your balancing acts will eventually grant you real peace, not just temporary harmony. Sometimes, this feels like waiting for a sign that you're on the right path without knowing exactly what that sign would look like. You may notice flashes of insecurity, moments when you wonder if your calm is genuine or just a mask for deeper uncertainty. And yet, in the gentle practice of moderation, something genuine emerges. This is not the week for dramatic decisions or bold declarations. Instead, your emotional posture is one of quiet watchfulness, an openness to what might be possible if you allow yourself to act with care, not just with drive. The tension is subtle but tangible. It's the effort to trust that in slowing down you won't lose your momentum or your sense of purpose. In this space, your patience becomes a kind of quiet courage. That inner patience, though, is not passive. It sets the stage for what unfolds around you. As you move through your week, the balance you're striving for begins to shape every interaction and every task. The path ahead is not smooth, not without its own friction. In fact, it's your very effort to maintain equilibrium that brings certain pressures to the surface. The world doesn't always reward restraint or careful pacing, especially when others are moving faster, demanding more, or expecting clear results. You find yourself caught between the desire to wait for the right moment and the reality that life keeps marching forward. Choices appear, sometimes quietly, sometimes all at once, each asking you to decide what's worth your time and what can wait. The patience you cultivate becomes the lens through which you see the week's challenges and its opportunities. In the unfolding of events, the Seven of Pentacles makes itself known. This is not a card of immediate gratification, nor is it a signal that all your work is finished. You're standing at a point where effort has been invested, yet the results are not fully visible. There's pressure here, pressure to evaluate, to measure, to question if what you have poured yourself into will truly bear fruit. The world around you is relentless in its motion. Emails, deadlines, requests from others, and the silent clock that ticks in your own mind. You may feel a growing restlessness as you look for signs that your investment of time, of energy, of attention is paying off. Friction arises from the gap between what you've already put forth and what you can actually see or hold. Maybe you're tempted to push harder, to do more, to accelerate the process so you don't have to sit with uncertainty. Yet there is a sense that patience is being tested. The momentum is real, but it's not entirely under your control. You're asked to meet this moment with honest assessment, a willingness to see what's working, what is not, and what simply needs more time. The pressure is not just external, it's inside you as well. There's a subtle anxiety that if you pause to reflect, you might fall behind. But the truth is, this pause is part of the process. It's a moment of recalibration, not stagnation. The choices you face are not about abandoning what you've built, but about deciding where to focus next and how to carry forward the lessons of patience and discernment. In the friction between what's done and what's still unfolding, you are reshaped. You are learning to recognize the value of your own labor and to trust, even when it's uncomfortable, that things can ripen in their own time. And so, the invitation to potential opens only as you meet the path consciously. No amount of waiting or wishing can generate the spark of growth by itself. It's your willingness to stay awake inside the tension, to notice your own responses, to remain present when things are unresolved. That allows something new to emerge. If you move through the week on autopilot, the deeper possibilities remain hidden. But when you meet each moment with awareness, the gap between uncertainty and clarity becomes a place for discovery. Growth is not handed to you. It's made possible by your own steady attention, your willingness to engage with what is, rather than what you wish would be. In the energy of your potential, the Knight of Swords appears, not as a promise of sudden transformation, but as an invitation to purposeful motion. This week, as you integrate patience with discernment, there's space for a different kind of courage to arise. The Knight of Swords doesn't wait for perfect conditions or the full unfolding of every detail. Instead, he moves forward with clarity and conviction, channeling the lessons of patience into decisive action. For you, this is not about recklessness or abandoning your careful nature. It's about trusting that, when the moment feels right in your gut, you can move forward without second-guessing every step. Growth here looks like giving yourself permission to cut through indecision, to say what needs to be said, to take a step even if you don't have every answer in advance. The invitation is to let your thoughts and words carry the power of your intention, shaped by all the patience and reflection that came before. This is not a call for speed, but for clarity, the kind that arises when you allow yourself to act from a place of integration rather than anxiety. You may notice yourself feeling sharper, more able to articulate what matters, less willing to carry burdens that aren't yours. There is freedom in trusting your own judgment, even when outcomes remain uncertain. The invitation is to move with integrity, to let your actions align with the patience you've practiced, and to remember that clarity often arrives not before action but through it. Stepping back, you can see how these three energies, Temperance's gentle balance, the Seven of Pentacles' honest assessment, and the Knight of Swords' courageous clarity, interlace across your week. The tension you feel at the start is not a flaw, but a signal that you are ready to move beyond old habits of overextension and self-doubt. Your instinct to temper and integrate is not weakness, it's the foundation for all that follows. The path ahead challenges you to sit honestly with unfinished business, to resist the urge to rush or to judge your progress too harshly. In that space of reflection, you reclaim your own pace. And when the time comes to act, you do so not from compulsion, but from a place of considered strength. There is reassurance in knowing that each step, however small, is informed by both patience and purpose. The week does not demand perfection or certainty. It asks only that you bring your whole self to each moment, trusting that, even in the midst of tension, you are capable of finding your own way forward. The process is not linear, and that's all right. Integration happens quietly in the background as you move between reflection and action. By the end of the week, the uneasy breath you held at the start may begin to soften. There is calm in knowing you have honored every part of your journey. Actionable insights for Capricorn this week. You might try letting yourself pause before responding, especially when you feel rushed. You could experiment with naming one thing you're proud of today, even if it's small. If frustration arises, consider allowing yourself a brief walk or stretch, without needing to fix anything right away. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to move at my own pace. I trust the effort I have already given. Each pause I take makes space for clarity. When I speak, my words carry weight. I am enough exactly as I am now. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.